Welcome to Clariot Noir. The following recordings are based on real events in Bridal Veil Lake. Stories come directly from the people who have experienced them. Listener discretion is advised. Tent Trailer Vengeance by Philip Six. Ferry Street is different, not in a good way. It's one of the poorest neighborhoods in Canada, and it isn't super long. There are no refugees sent there or social programs attracting people to the area. It's just got a pull for those down on their luck and cursed, especially if they're born there like me. The houses aren't the best, and the people are poor, but most of them are good, like my parents. God rest them. They always made sure we ate, and that meant sacrifices. When they'd inherited the tent trailer from my grandfather, there'd been a hope of camping. We tried once, but the bloody thing leaked and was infested with spiders. One bad night near the gorge, and that was it for camping. My dad put an ad in the classifieds. This all happened in the 80s, so no internet. You wanted to sell something, you did it in the classifieds, and the ad had to be short. Tent trailer, terrible condition, BOA. That last part meant we'd take the best offer we got. A phone number was included in our ad, obviously, and my dad took a call from somebody wanting to see it the following weekend. I was really young, maybe around 5, but I kind of remember my dad taking a guy on a tour of the tent trailer. My mom told me about it though too. She told us all, as adults, about the man and the ordeal that followed his purchase of the trailer. I don't know what they got for it, but it was more than expected. My dad thought we were pretty lucky, but he was an honest guy, my dad, and he was upfront about the tent trailer's defects and our one bad camping trip. The guy, according to our mom, waved off any concerns and quickly hauled away the trailer. He tore out of the driveway so fast he smashed the underside of his car on our steep driveway. He didn't stop to check for damage. Mom thought he was a weirdo and was glad to see him go. Well, time passes, and it's my birthday. I'm going to be 7, I think, or 6. I can't remember. I'm getting a new bike for my birthday, and I know it because my parents hid it in their closet, and I snuck in and saw it. I am very excited for the school day to end, and when it does, I race home as fast as I can. My mother is waiting at the near top of Ferry Street, not looking too happy. I know that look. I stop running. "You!" she shouts down the road. "Where have you been?" She walks to meet me and does a curious thing. She pulls me into a tight hug. It's so unusual. I remember the moment clearly. "Let's go in." She takes my hand and pulls me inside for my birthday party, which is awesome. I remember the bike rolling into the kitchen. I learned as an adult why she'd been so strange that day. The man who bought the trailer had called. He was furious about a camping trip he'd taken his wife on and complained about the leaks and the spiders. He didn't care that he'd been told prior to his purchase and demanded a refund. But the money was already gone, my mother explained. A refund simply wasn't possible, given our situation. This sent the man over the edge. He started screaming expletives. My mom doesn't take shit from anyone. She screamed right back. The argument escalated to a new level, however, with his final words. "I'm going to kill one of your children." He hung up after that. The way he'd said it, so cold, made my mom afraid. Everyone was home except for me, who was about to get let out of school. I'd been walking home on my own since Christmas. The school was close. She sent my older brother to get me. He had finished his exams and was strong as hell from weightlifting. But he missed me at the pickup, probably because of my quick escape from the school. He'd also missed me on the way back, most likely because I'd been taking a shortcut through the bait shop those days. For whatever reason, I thought this was faster. So my brother gets home before me and tells Mom I'm nowhere to be found. She freaks and walks out into the street. That's when I come bouncing up and I get my weird hug. Nothing happened for a while after that. School ends and it's summer. If you're wondering, my parents didn't call the police about the threat on our lives because there was nothing to tell them. No name, no number, and a vague description of a pretty ordinary guy. Plus, the residents of Ferry Street don't have the best relationship with the police. My dad figures it's better not to get them involved. The subject didn't come up again until a fun afternoon of play with my friends. We were all out front. Our place was one of the few with a lawn and a pretty big backyard, so the neighborhood kids usually all played there. A car pulled up to the curb. A man was inside with his seatbelt on. I think he had a mustache and sunglasses. The engine kept running while he watched us. We didn't think much of the guy and kept playing. We were playing hide and seek, and home free was the big tree on the lawn, right by the stranger's running car. My mom came out on the porch, and suddenly there are tires screeching. This guy is peeling out. "What the hell was that?" Mom yelled at me. I had no idea. It was another moment where I didn't understand why Mom was upset. She explained it to me, and all the neighborhood kids. She called all the parents too, and they had a kind of meeting about it. Everybody became more vigilant about telling parents about strangers on our street. Maybe too vigilant, because it only took a few weeks for everyone to get bored of this game and go back to normal. When another car pulled up to the curb with another guy inside, maybe the same guy, it was hard to tell. I knew what to do and went straight to Mum. She came storming out with a pen and paper to get the license plate. Once again, the car screamed off. Definitely the same guy. Unfortunately, Mum had forgotten her glasses. No new information had been gleaned. The cars were a different color. That was it. When my dad got home from his odd job, he and Mum discussed what they should do and decided to sleep on it. That August night was hot and humid. My brothers and I slept on the main floor of the house on the pull-out couch. This was our regular bed for years. I don't know which one of us opened the door to let in some air through the screen door that didn't lock. It could have been me. Mum says she woke up at midnight. She sat up in bed. Then she went straight to the front window of her and my father's room, which overlooked the lawn and the walkway. Down below, a man stood on the sidewalk, about to make a decision. He was facing our house. He was wearing a ski mask. He took one step onto the walkway, and my mum gasped. The noise made him look up, and Mum swears their eyes met. Another decision was being worked out in this guy's head. A few seconds later, and he made it. He took off into the night. We found Dad sitting in a chair by the locked-up door with his trusty baseball bat. The police came and took a statement, but nothing more happened. It was all speculation regarding a link between the tent trailer guy, the car creepers, and the man at night, whom the cops said was likely a thief. What kind of idiot thief robs a house when everyone is home? My dad pointed out. They didn't like his observation much. He didn't like them much. Only a psychopath comes at night, he went on. They had no more words for him, and left without even saying they'd look into it. My mother wasn't worried. Years later, she told us this story almost joyfully. See, she wasn't worried because that night had been a miracle in her eyes. Why did I wake up? She asked us. There wasn't a reason to. No noise, nothing. Why did I wake up? We are protected. She didn't say by what. Being here still, on Ferry Street, while it rots and we suffer, doesn't feel like a blessing. I didn't have an answer to her immediate questions either. None of us did then, and I was more concerned with other questions after she told us. What would have happened if she hadn't woken up? What would the man have done?